the fifth or sixth practice. We're just getting back to the basics of everything. Everybody's get back in the whole momentum of just getting it going and practicing at high speed, but it's going really well.
What do you think is going the best?
Just getting the young guys to start stepping up, and some of the guys who are redshirted and didn't get a lot of action, just trying to teach them just the basics of our defense and what things that they need to get better as a young player, as far as if they need to study more film and things like that. But it's just really just helping those guys develop.
Have any of the young guys in specific stood out to you?
From the young guys, Trayvon Mullen especially, he was a younger guy last year. He got a couple of snaps, but he's been doing really well as far as stepping up with the loss of Cordray and things like that. But he's doing really well. Isaiah Simmons, K'Von Wallace, a lot of those young DBs are playing really well right now.
Who's working where with you?
Mullen's in the boundary, and I think Isaiah is playing free safety.
You guys lost some big personalities with Tootie and Jadar. Who's stepping up in that leadership role so far?
For myself, I tried my best to try to take on a leadership role, just as far as being an old head. My last year here, and so I'm trying to take a leadership role and getting the young guys right and just teaching them things that might have helped me when I was younger. Because I know when I was younger, it all felt like it was overwhelming. It all felt like a lot. So I'm trying to do my best and getting Isaiah not to feel too overwhelmed by everything, because we're all going to make mistakes. It's a part of the game, but you try to limit those mistakes in practice.
What's the biggest thing that you personally worked on over the summer? Over
the off season, which really wasn't that much of an off season for me, but just trying to get more film recognition, pre-snap formations, just making sure that I'm staying sharp and just leading the young guys, show them how to come out each practice, and, just give it 100% every practice. So I'm just trying to make sure I stay focused on my technique and just trying to get better every day.
How do these new assistant coaches on the defense seem to be adjusting? How do you guys like them?
Oh, definitely. Well, especially for me, Coach Khan, he's doing really well. Coming in and just being pumped up every day and bringing that attitude and that passion that we need in the secondary. Especially Coach Bates, same thing. Those guys these coaches are really energized, and I love the attitude that they're bringing in each practice, and it's just a very good transition right now.
Does it help having Coach Khan and Coach Reed split up the duties?
I think so, just because it gives another voice in the secondary. It gives another coach to focus more on the safeties and another coach just to focus on the corners. So I feel like it's definitely an asset to have two DB coaches, and it's been going really well so far.
What's it like for you having him coach you again?
It's a little unreal for me, but I love it. He's my guy. He's helped me get to where I am today. I have the utmost respect for him, and I'm so glad that he's hearing me, and especially my last year. So it's been very, very good for me, very special.
Is it unreal for you that your career's almost over? Like, this is your last spring practice?
I'm thinking, how in the world did I even get here? It's just went so fast, but I've enjoyed every part of it, the good and the bad. But it's definitely like a surreal feeling knowing it's my last year. That's why I'm just trying to come in and give it my all this spring and go into the summer just giving it everything I got this last season.
Last year, for the team, it was no regrets. But for you, is this a season that you want to finish with no regrets and kind of leave everything out there?
Yeah, definitely. I just don't want any of us to feel like complacency or feel like, we did something very special last year, but it's in the rear view now. So all of us should kind of keep it with a chip on our shoulder. No, we can't get complacent during this next season coming up. We still have to be hungry. We still got to know that every team's going to want to try to beat us, and there's going to be new obstacles that we didn't face last year because, like you said, it's a new team. So it's just coming in with a mentality that that we're very hungry.
Where do you feel like you've grown the most in your time at Clemson?
I would say for myself, it's just maybe off the field. When I was a young guy, just didn't really get it. It was a little bit overwhelmed. It took me a while to really start understanding, how to really come in here and practice, really show, the film studies and all that. So I feel like myself, the biggest area for me is just, getting in the film room and make sure, that I know exactly what's going on and what the coaches want out of me, especially Coach B, because, he's a perfectionist. So, it's really intense. So I try to, come out and make sure that I'm on top of my game every practice.
Now that you're one of the veteran guys, are you taking a lot of those young guys in the secondary under your wing?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely, saying earlier, definitely trying to be a leader. I've seen the Robert Smiths, the Gary Peters, those guys that came in here, that were leaders when I was a younger guy. I'm trying to, make sure that I'm not somebody I'm trying to make sure that I am somebody that they can look up to, and so they can see me coming in here and going hard every day at practice. So they know that you can't just come in here and go through the motions, or you will get exposed. So I just try to, take the young guys on the moment, so just show them that you got to have that dog mentality, you got to be hungry.
What have you seen from some of those younger guys, Kayvon, Trayvon, Isaiah? Has any one of them particularly stood out to you in practice?
Yeah, definitely. Trayvon Mullen is a guy that I'm definitely trying to lean on and push him because he's definitely a guy who has high expectations coming in. So he's definitely been doing really well the first few practices that spring. I love what I'm seeing out of him. Isaiah too. I try to tell Isaiah not to be overwhelmed. He's a guy that has all the tools, the size, everything. So I'm just trying to show them that it's a process. It's going to take time. You're not going to come out here and be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. So I'm trying my best to just show them we got to come out here and just work at it every day. It's the only way we'll get better.
We saw Dabo talking to the walk-ons here just a few minutes ago. What do you think that experience is like for them to come out here? Obviously, you guys are coming off such a big high. What's it like for them to walk into this facility?
I know they're probably a little bit overwhelmed too, but I know it's probably surreal for them. They're probably just trying their best to get on the team, which I know that's definitely got to be very hard to do, very struggle to do. But I commend them for trying to come out here and give it all they got. And I'm excited to see if one of them gets the opportunity, because that's all you can really hope for, the opportunity.